Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tayler Yarish Show. This is episode 53. I can't get Christmas jingles out of my head. I have been playing them nonstop. Michael Bublé might be able to seduce me. We don't know. That guy's got a fucking voice on him, huh? I mean, he must be just cleaning up. Is he married? We don't know if he's married. Is he married? Michael Bublé, wife? Yep, yeah, he's married. Anyway, dude's got a fucking voice on him, man. I've just been listening to his Christmas album. That's the best Christmas album that I'm aware of, okay? He nailed it. I don't even want the classics, the classic Christmas songs, who sang it originally. I don't care. Michael Bublé is the voice of Christmas. Beginning and I don't know a single song that he's sang besides Christmas songs, okay? You thought, Mariah Carey, she's got her whole catalog. Michael Bublé's got that. That's his shit, you know? But yeah, man. I've been listening to a ton of Baby It's Cold Outside. This evening has been so very nice. It's a great song. And do you remember when they were trying to cancel that song? Do you remember when they were trying to cancel Baby It's Cold Outside? How dare you? How dare you? It's a great song. I listened to it probably 30 times in the last 4 days. It's not a bad fucking song, okay? Shut up. It's not a bad song. I don't care if you think, oh, he's a rapist and he's trying to keep her there. That's not what's happening. He's seducing. He's seducing her. Hey, stay. Come on, have a drink. Come on, have a drink. It's cold outside. You don't want to go outside. It's cold. Come on, it's cold. She's like, my dad's going to be up. My mom's going to worry. My sister. And come on, have a drink. It's fine. What's wrong with that? Am I missing something here? It fucking died down. I mean, obviously, I thought that was the height of the craziness, but no, it's gotten more. But yeah, that song, it's a great song. It's a great song. It's in Elf, which is arguably one of the best Christmas movies that have ever been made besides The Grinch with Jim Carrey. So you know what? If I haven't heard anybody talk about it this year, but yeah, it's I've just been singing it nonstop because it makes me feel, Christmas music makes me feel better. I don't know if it would do that not in a Christmas season, but I'm riding the train at 6:30 in the morning and I'm just sitting down and I'm fucking so tired. It's kind of miserable. And then I throw on "It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like," and it just literally warms my heart. So I don't know. That's the power of El Musica, I guess. But I don't know, man. I'm getting excited I love Christmas. I love Christmas and, just sitting around. And I think Christmas time, it's always represented just a moment of peace, where you could just keep the sweats on and you got a cup of something. That's all I want. I just want to wear some sweats and have a cup of something and not have this feeling in my soul like I should be doing something else. I don't like doing that normally. I can't stand sitting around and just doing nothing if I haven't done anything else that day. It literally gives me anxiety. But Christmas time, it's understood that that's what that's for, so I don't have that same anxiety. I can sit around all day and watch movies with a cup of something. You have a cup of that first cup of coffee in the morning, and then you're just kind of sitting around, you're just hugging it, and then it gets dark, it's cold, and you start pouring bourbon. Oh, I can't wait, dude. I can't wait. Although I'm going to try to not go super hard this this Christmas with the eating and drinking, because I got, I signed up for a Spartan race, which is one of those obstacle course races. It's like 13 miles on a mountain with 400 obstacle whatever. It's one of those insane races. I don't know. I just did it because I hate myself or something. So I gotta, I really gotta get into gear here. Like I gotta be able to run a half marathon on a mountain with like however many thousands of feet elevation gain, and I'm not ready to do that at all. The last time I did this race was years ago, and I didn't have the shoulder and back injuries that I do now. So I got some shit ahead of me, and I got to be able to run 13 miles at a minimum, and I cannot. I could probably run like 6. And, I could run more if my life depended on it, but, Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to try to not go super friggin' hard, but it's difficult because we're doing Christmas in California with my girlfriend's parents, and I can't not drink around her. That sounded bad to say I can't not drink around her parents. It's not that. It's they offer it, and so you take it, and then you drink it. And my girlfriend's always like, "Oh no, you don't have, you don't have to drink if you don't want to. Yes, you do. Okay, if your dad offers me a glass of whiskey, I'm gonna drink the glass of whiskey. It's just what it is. Okay, I'm not gonna turn it down and have him look at me with that look of like, are you a man? Okay, maybe that's juvenile, maybe it is, but you know what? That's how I feel. Okay, so." I don't know, man. We'll see. But I'm not, like I said, and I'm not even getting off to a good start. Dude, I came home just now. I don't know what happened, but I just tore through my kitchen. All right? First, I crushed these two brownies that her parents sent us. They got like caramel and just fudge in the brownies. Something ridiculous. I don't know. It's an all-family recipe. I crushed those right off the bat. And then I cooked a piece of sourdough and spread it with jam and honey and shit. And I just tanked that right down. And then I about a half a box of honey bunches of oat cereal, and I put it in a bowl that was, I don't know, it's probably meant to mix something, and I just put that in there, and I crushed it within like 5 minutes. I watched like one fucking series of a football game while I was eating all of that. And now, guess what? I feel terrible, and I'm not going to be able to do anything for the rest of the night. Even just sitting in this compromised position, folded position, my stomach feels pretty awful right now, I'll be honest. And, it's just a cycle. You just get caught up in the cycle of eating. I don't know what it is. It's definitely, you wake up early for a job, and then you wake up early and you don't even know where you are. I'm at the point, I was thinking about this the other day, and I've been thinking about it a lot the past week and a half. I think I've spent most of my 20s sleep deprived. 100% sleep deprivation. You know that feeling when you gotta wake up early for a flight or something, and you get up, and you're like, oh my God, I'm so tired, but we have to go. We have to. That's been my life every day almost for however many years, because I've always had a job that I had to wake up before the sun was up, and then you go do that, and then I'm out all night doing stand-up. I'm not complaining. I'm just explaining that I think a lot of times I lose the feeling of what it's meant to be like, just, what it's meant to be, just a person. I didn't phrase that correctly, but you know what I mean? I don't know what just baseline, hey, I got 8 hours of sleep, and I'm going to just wake up, and this is how you feel. I remember the first time I switched a shift with somebody, and I was working a later shift after I had done, just 6 a.m. shifts or whatever, however many of those in a row. and I actually got a good night's sleep, and I went to work, and like my legs didn't hurt, my joints weren't clicking, and I was walking around, and I was like, is this how everybody feels all the time? Is this how you're supposed to feel? Life isn't just supposed to feel like painful and lethargic, and your eyes, those just stay open on their own, huh? Wow. Oh my God. And it's hard to go back. It is hard to go back to that. And, that's how I feel a lot of the time. So I'm excited. I won't have to do that starting this next year. And so I'm excited to not do that. I feel like I'm going to be a different person with sleep. Like, I'm excited to have a fucking extra gear. I see people that are so fucking lazy. They don't do anything. All they do is sleep. They probably feel great physically, maybe, if, everything else is in order. But then they don't, it's like, use that good feeling to go and do shit. Now, I totally understand some people don't have a thing to do. Like, during COVID, I was losing my fucking mind because I had all this free time and nothing to do, and that's not good for me. That doesn't work. And some people don't have a thing, and that's fine. But for me, I'm just excited to have things to do and then now have the energy to do them. I don't have to always just rely on fucking an IV drip of caffeine to get me through the day. And caffeine doesn't even, caffeine for me, it's not even a being an awake thing. It's just it's a hot beverage that you sip that it doesn't wake me up. It just makes my heart beat faster, which I don't know if that's what I'm going for. I would like to be more awake. If there was a drug or a drink that could give you that refreshed awake feeling, holy shit, boy. Because that's not what caffeine does. Caffeine gives you that initial thing, but there's a threshold that you hit that's going to, anything more than that, your heart is just going, and it's not good, and that's usually where I go. That's usually where I hit, where your heart rate starts getting jacked up. I don't know, man. But yeah, I'm excited to not wake up at 5 whatever in the morning after, you just went to bed a few hours ago, and then when you wake up and then you turn on like fluorescent lighting for the first time, or you turn on just like bright lighting, and you're just like, oh my God, why? What the fuck? That bright ass light. People talk about like, oh, when you die, you see the light. Hey, shut it off. You can keep it off. I'll feel my way around. Okay? I don't need you to turn the light on if I'm going to heaven or whatever is going to happen. I don't need to see the light. I hate the bright light. Okay? It's very disruptive. Can you put it on a dimmer? Just tone it down. I'll feel around in the dark. I'll walk up the stairway to heaven. I'm very capable, okay? I can balance. You don't need I saw a bright light. Why? Was somebody just shining it in your face like an asshole? I don't want to go there. If that's what heaven's going to be like, First thing you do is shine a light in your face. Are you interrogating me? What the fuck is happening? Bright light. I don't know. Anywho, excited for the holidays. Yeah. I was doing this show last night, and somebody was on stage, and they were talking about something that like I've heard a lot about. I've never really discussed it. My girlfriend's brought it up one time, and I just never really got it. It's love languages. Is anyone else aware of these? Do people use these, and are they being serious when they talk about love languages. Apparently there's 5. That's what I've been told / read because I Googled it, And I'm not saying it's not a real thing. It does kind of strike me in the same vein of like, astrology. And it's not. I know it's not. So just calm the fuck down. I know it's not. But it gives me the same ew feeling that astrology does. The fact that there's like, anytime people, when you're talking about humanity and people are just like, there's 5 different things and here they are, It's like, and now you fit into one of those fucking boxes. I'm not saying it's not a real thing. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's a new thing, right? Love languages are a new thing. My grandparents were together for however many fucking years. I never heard my grandfather being like, you know what your problem is? You just don't respect and you don't understand my love language, okay? So how about we just communicate better with the languages? Because I listen, I know your language. I speak your language. Do I not? What do you like? You like quality time and you like shiny shit, right? So I'm not speaking your language? All right, so speak my fucking language there, toots. That's not how my grandfather talked, but you get it, That's not how people spoke back in the day, and yet somehow it worked out. But now we have all these fucking things, and, divorces have never been higher. But what do I know? I'm not a smart human being, I don't read. And when I do, I need to have a physical book and an audio book. Because your boy ain't smart. Your boy can't pay attention. Can't pay attention to anything. If there's anything going on in the room while I'm reading, I'm gonna look at that. I'm gonna do that. I gotta have my phone off. I gotta have, just everything. I should read before bed because nothing knocks me out like picking up a fucking book. I remember I was trying to read this book when we were out in California last time, and I'm like, I remember pacing the bedroom with a book in my hand and an audiobook. I had to be physically walking because if I sat down, I would fall asleep. Now you're like, hey, maybe it was a bad book. No, it was a fine book. It's a great book. I'm just so fucking, dumb and tired that reading along a page is just, it's so boring to me. But I can't just listen to the audio, because if I only listen to the audio, now I'm just looking around at shit, and that's going to be more interesting. So I have to hear the words in my head, but then I have to see the words, so it reminds me to stay connected to the words in my head. You know what I mean? It's a very expensive way to learn something. In most books, I don't learn much, I read a lot of self-help books. I do. I'll admit it. They make you feel good. It's a lot of fluffy bullshit, okay? It's a lot of like, get after it and wake up early and this is why you rock and how to not be a fucking, bitchy complainer boy, or what, whatever the fucking titles are nowadays. Oh, God, I don't know. I went to a Strand bookstore the other day. It's like the big bookstore in New York, and just, I don't know, man. I like books. I don't know if I like book people. I mean, these people, God, I don't know. I don't want to start a whole thing, but it's just very all the same type of person. And even the people that work there, you could tell by all the books that they recommend. It's all just, staff pick, fucking Becoming by Michelle Obama or whatever. It's just like, was that the best read? That was your best read that you could find? That was your most recent awesome fucking read? Every book is just, there were so many books about, I feel like every book they had put out there was about, something to do with social justice or race and economics, and it was just all this stuff. And I don't know, where they keep the books, the actual educational books like economics and history and old-fashioned political sciencey type of stuff. That's all in the fucking basement, just collecting dust. That's down there with the overstock of tote bags and shit that they sell in the main entrance. But the main books right in your face, it's all about like, here's why even if you're not racist, you should know that you're racist and how to not be racist, and then how to have sex and not have a racist baby so they don't grow up to be a racist. That's like the whole title of the book. And it's just like, all right, easy. Let's just take a breath, huh? Here's why the fight against racism starts with calling your dog racist and making sure that you don't have any racist grandparents, and if you do, you should kill them in their sleep. It's like, oh, all right. Oh my God. Here's why the fight isn't over against it. It's like, oh man, you guys seem like a real hang at a party, And I know these are serious issues. I know racism is a big thing. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying that the bookstore makes it seem like that's the only thing people walk into a bookstore for. Like, that's the whole reason people are walking in there. They're finding a book and they just made it so easy. Like, oh shit, it's all right here. It's all in the front. I don't even need to go into the store. Like, I went downstairs into the back section where no one goes, and I was just like, oh shit, they have books on like woodworking, and they have books on, fucking you name it. They got a book on it, It's like their whole thing is like 80 miles of books or whatever. I don't know. But there's a lot of interesting shit in there, and I'm just saying that there's a lot that's not being showcased that probably could, because there's, people write interesting shit, and but that doesn't mean that it's going to sell, right? The book on whatever history, that's not going to sell. It's not sexy. It's not sexy enough. And the race books are. They got really cool titles, and they got cool pictures on them, and then it's like, these catchy titles, she's a slut, and here's why she doesn't give a fuck, or just, they're better than that, but you know what I'm saying? All those, like, I don't give a shit. Here's how to own your truth and squash your hate, or, dumb shit like that. How to be a fucking, finance whore. It's like, okay. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I couldn't write a book, so maybe I could. Who knows? This is my favorite. These people who write books, but they're not books, they're like a collection of essays that they just make into a book. That's how I would write a book. Is I would take, couple years or whatever and just write long rant things on a bunch of different shit, and then I just form it together and be like, here's my fucking book. All right? There you go. Someone else will put chapters in the front. Now it's your problem. That'd be my book. I haven't read a good book in a while. I've purchased some. I think I've started some. There's a lot of books that I want to read. There's a lot of books that I start and then I'm like, I get it. There's so many books that could be shorter. Books could be so much shorter. I don't know why they have to make them that long. I feel that way about a lot of YouTube videos, but I understand why YouTube videos are long, because the longer the video, the more ads that they can put in there, and then it makes them more money. I get that, But a book, it's like, sometimes you're 2 chapters in, you're like, I get it. I get it. And that's, that's a lot of the shit that I've read. Or they just give so much backstory that's not needed, that you don't have to have in there. They want to tell you the backstory, the history of everything, because they think it's going to make it, it's going to make it all make sense. Like, you need to know the history. That's how you know a lot of articles are bullshit. You ever see like I read a lot of shitty articles. I read a lot of like Cosmo or just mind-numbing bullshit articles that are so fluff, like I quit alcohol for a year. Here's what I learned. Choking on fucking honey bunches of oats. The article will be like, I didn't drink alcohol for a year. Here's what I learned. Love a good here's what I learned, those things are always going to be horse shit. I quit alcohol for a year. It's a shitty article because it started with the history of alcohol. Hey, we don't need that, okay? We know what alcohol is. I quit alcohol for a year. Here's what I learned. And then the beginning of the article, it all began in ancient Greece with the sacred drink of mead. And it's like, skip. Oh, you felt better and you lost weight. Wow, could have cleared this up in a paragraph. Thank you. It's never anything else. It's never anything interesting. It's never like, I quit alcohol for a year. Here's what I learned. Did you know that alligators don't sweat? Holy shit. You know what I mean? It's never like, oh, I quit alcohol. Here's what I learned with all my new free time because I wasn't out binge drinking with the boys. It's just, I felt better. My mind was more clear. There's a lot of bullshit articles like that, and there's a lot of bullshit books, but it's hard to recognize a bullshit book because you're reading it and you can only read as fast as you can read, and you start to get an inkling like, hey, I think this is a horseshit book, feels like a horseshit book, but let's give it time. Because sometimes, people will recommend you a book and they're like, all right, you just got to give it a little, wait till you get about halfway through. Hate those people. Wait till you get about halfway through. Oh, you mean 200 pages in? No. I don't have the time, dude. These fucking I read a book in a weekend people, yeah, it's because you don't have friends. That's not true. That's mean. That's not true. You could just read before bed, and I don't do that. There's some people out there, they're like, I read an hour before bed every, Dude, what are you guys doing? How do you get into bed, under the covers, dim the lights, and then crack open a book and not immediately pass out? What? How? I don't know. I don't understand it. It's not for me. Reading's not for me. I'm not a reader. I'm a watcher. I'm a listener. I don't really like the, I feel like it's kind of a, it's a hack joke to kind of hate on the book was better than the movie people, but I know what they mean, and you know what they mean. The book went more in depth. A lot of times it's a novel they're talking about, and you can really create a story. I get it. I've been hooked by a book before. I get it. But it's also not fair to be like the book was better than the movie. Well, the book was different than the movie, okay? If they made the movie as long as it took you to read the book, then that's a TV series, okay? Now, there's people that'll say, oh, the book was better than the TV series. Game of Thrones. People are like, the books in Game of Thrones, way much better. Way much better. Wow, I'm fucking stupid. It's way much better. That's what I just said. I just said way much better. This is why I do this podcast by myself, so that nobody else has to just pinpoint out, well, how much of a fucking dumbass I am. I almost said retard. Just said it. But you know what I mean? I'm not smart. This is the crux of what I'm getting at. Way much better. Way much better. Write that. Turn it into the paper, turn it into the teacher, and, oh, look at that. You failed. Way much better. I'm going to think about that for the rest of the night, okay? Now, maybe you don't know that. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be walking around. Way much better. I'm going to be brushing my teeth tonight. Way much better. I'm going to repeat it to myself. I'm alone right now. I'm going to repeat it once I shut this camera and this microphone off. Way much better. What can you do? Listen, people, let's close this bitch out, huh? That's the podcast this week. Thank you for coming along this ride. I'm full. Raise your hand by yourself if you're full right now, because that's what we about, baby. That's what this podcast is about, all right? It's about eating too much and hating yourself for it, okay? That's it. Yeah, that's the podcast this week. Have a good week. You know, it's almost that time. You know, before people start traveling and moving around, and you know, you got to see your family. And guess what? It all goes like that. The holiday season, sometimes you just, you know, you're thinking about it too much, and it's going, and there's so much buildup, and then poof, it's over. Just enjoy every second of it. Enjoy the wrapping of the gifts. Enjoy the fucking travel to go to your parents' house, all right? Enjoy the line in the megabus line. You know, enjoy the line of megabus where you got to, like, wait out in the cold and then give the guy your ticket, and you're like, did he even look at that? Could I have just got on this bus for free? Enjoy all of it, because it's all going to go, man. It's all a part of the ride, okay? And just be nice to people because it's the holidays. And then next year, you could spit in their face, okay? But until then, I bid you adieu. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much for listening. You know, follow the gram and all that horse shit. And, yeah, no comedy show, no Yarbar comedy show, I should say, to promote. We're starting that back up on the 5th because the venue, you know, is filled with fucking holiday parties from, you know, young corporate business people who want to get sloshed and, you know, date rape somebody. So, all right, that's it for the podcast. Have a good week. I'll see you next week. Goodbye.